and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Carwyn Evans. Today's main headlines are: a second area of Swansea was cordoned off after an item was found in a bin outside the Magistrate Court, an entire school year performing a concert after being taught to play a string instrument, Star Wars fans across the world celebrate the 40th anniversary of the launch of the first movie, and in sport, Chris Coleman announces his training squad ahead of a crucial World Cup qualifier against Serbia. Back to our main story. For the second time in 24 hours, police officers evacuated an area of the city. Today saw the Magistrate Court and surrounding buildings emptied after receiving a call that an item had been found in a bin. After being inspected by the relevant agencies, South Wales Police confirmed that it was a false alarm, but with good intent. It follows the evacuation of the Quadrant Shopping Centre, bus station and market yesterday after a suspicious package was found. A man was arrested after the package was found to be a hoax. With a busy summer planned here for Swansea, earlier on today on Bay, Deputy Leader of Swansea Council Clive Lloyd confirmed that the council were working with relevant agencies to ensure that people would still be able to enjoy upcoming events with added safety measures in place.
People would expect us to do all the sort of the risk assessments that are required, but people just need to carry on attending. There may be some extra precautions, some extra checks, maybe a bit of time delay, but it'll all be done for the right reasons. And people's security is the utmost in the council's minds, in the planning and the police. So we'll continue to work together.
With the weather hotting up, Skincare Cymru are reminding people to be careful with launching their signs, "Don't be a lobster," reappearing. Swansea and Gower beaches will see the hottest day of the year so far, and the Skin Cancer Charity want to remind people to take extra care. Wales has the highest incidence of skin cancer in the UK, with exposure to the sun's UV rays being the main cause. Swansea Council have announced that a village green around an historic observatory are among the plans for the former Civic Centre site in Penllyrgaer. The submitted plans for the site also include 80 new homes. Swansea Council sold the site to Enzo's Homes last year, and they are committed to continue reviewing the ownership of its buildings and land, with proceeds from sales being reinvested back into council services. Now, Year 3 pupils from Ysgol Gynradd Gymraeg Llwynderw gave a special performance to their parents and friends this week. Each pupil was taught to play a string instrument, and Bay TV went along to see the concert and find out more about the project.
Liz Cairns, Bay TV at Llwynderw Welsh Primary School, where all of Year 3 have been learning to play a string instrument. Shall we go and take a look?
Well, I think generally they've loved it, to be fair to them, isn't it? Every child has had an opportunity. They've had the choice of a violin or a viola or a cello, and I think they've taken to it really well. Some have practiced and given it 110%, whereas others are doing it and are plodding along with it. But that's the whole point, isn't it? It's meant to give everybody an opportunity. Yes, I think they're all excited, and their parents too, to be fair. It's a lovely opportunity for them to showcase what they've been working on throughout the year. And hopefully they'll all be in tune and they'll all play together. And if not, we'll enjoy it anyway. And I'm sure mums and dads will be proud to see their children pursuing their instrument, and hopefully then decide that they would like to continue it, to see the progress that they've made in a short space of time.
I think it's a fantastic project. It gives them it's an excellent opportunity for them to learn a musical instrument at an age they probably wouldn't have learnt otherwise. Well, I think he was a little bit nervous at first, but I mean, he's really enjoyed it, and he's already said he'd like to continue with it afterwards, so that's great as well, yeah. I'm really excited. It'd be really good to see him and his friends play, yeah.
I think there's lots of research evidence that suggests that music is definitely beneficial to children, and I think that what they say is that it helps the connectors in the brain and develop certain areas of the brain. Obviously I can't prove that within my school, but I can definitely prove that it helps them with their concentration, and it helps them with their enthusiasm and the opportunity to struggle at something, work at it and improve. The main reason is the element of fairness. Generally, children are asked would they like to take up an opportunity to learn an instrument. You might have 30 children say that they'd like to take up the opportunity, but only have place within your timetable or your budget to give opportunities to say 15. It doesn't seem like a fair model, and in the model that we have here now, as part of this scheme, every child gets the opportunity, and then at the end of the year they then decide whether they'd like to pursue it and carry on or take up a different instrument.
And finally, today marks 40 years since the first Star Wars film was released, and people all over the world are preparing to celebrate. BTV went to find out more about the film and its popularity.
Well, Star Wars is immensely important in the history of Hollywood, the film industry. There are things about Star Wars which revolutionised the way in which the industrial aspects of the film industry worked. So Star Wars was the film, probably in conjunction with some of the Steven Spielberg stuff, like Jaws and Close Encounters, which guaranteed the blockbuster as the way in which Hollywood plans its schedules, these big special effects heavy. So that you've got that aspect of Star Wars, but the aspect of Star Wars which is to do with the toys and the merchandising. George Lucas, when he set his deal up with 20th Century Fox, made this incredible deal where he didn't have a hike in terms of his director's fee, but he kind of secured the merchandising rights and rights to any sequels. And Fox thought they were onto a winner there because they didn't think there was much value in those. But obviously Lucasfilm and everything that follows comes from that. And now we understand films in terms of merchandising, T-shirts and toys and fast food tie-ins and things like that. So I think in industrial terms, Star Wars changed a lot. It's interesting as a text itself. Star Wars is a film that relates back to older styles of things. When George Lucas was thinking about making Star Wars, he first tried to secure the rights to make Flash Gordon. But at the time he was quite poor and didn't have the money to do it. And Flash Gordon would have been difficult because there were all sorts of kind of restrictions on what you could do with the characters. But harking back to that serial approach to science fiction of the 1930s, you can see that Star Wars is actually quite traditional. It's trying to do something, it's trying to bring something into the present from quite a while ago. And Star Wars has a lot of the Flash Gordon about it, in terms of the opening crawl, for example. Cloud City in Bespin is really something that you see in those 30s kind of serials.
That's all your news. Let's take a look at what's happening in the sporting world. And we'll start with some international football. Chris Coleman has announced his Wales squad for the training camp in Portugal ahead of the crucial World Cup qualifier against Serbia in June. Amongst the names missing are Andy Kinn and James Collins, who have both been ruled out due to injury, and Gareth Bale and Neil Taylor, who are both suspended. Coleman will select a 23-man squad ahead of the match. There are 7 uncapped players named in the training squad, including teenager Ethan Ampadu, who made his professional debut for Exeter City back in August despite only being 16. And staying with football, Swansea City's top goal scorer Fernando Llorente has paid tribute to manager Paul Clement following the Swans' great escape in the Premier League by surviving with a game to spare. The Spaniard, who netted 15 times in the league, believes that the manager deserves great credit for the impact he made after being brought in to take charge of a struggling side. When Clement took over, the Swans only had 12 points from their opening 19 games. Now from football to rugby. On Saturday, the Scarlets will take on Munster in the final of the Pro 12 at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. This is the first time the region has reached the final of the Pro 12 playoffs and caps off a remarkable season that saw them gain 17 wins out of 19 league matches after losing their first 3. The region have also confirmed that hooker and captain Ken Owens and second row Jake Ball will miss the final on Saturday after both missed the victory over Leinster, with Owens having an ankle problem and Ball unable to recover from a shoulder injury. But whilst the region will be playing out in Dublin, Parker Scarlets will be hosting the Heineken Sevens tournament as the annual competition moves west for the first time. Llantyfri will be hoping to keep their hands on the men's title, with the Dragons hoping to cling on to the women's national title. And some cricket news to end. Glamorgan cricketer Jacques Rudolph has announced that he will retire at the end of the season. The 36-year-old has cited form and family considerations are behind his decision. Rudolph joined Glamorgan back in 2014 and was appointed skipper a year later. He has now relinquished his role as the captain in the county championship, but will remain in charge of the T20 side. Before we leave you, is a quick look at what the weather has in store for us. It will remain dry overnight with very little cloud around, but it will be another mild night with minimum temperatures reaching 12 degrees. Looking ahead to Friday, it's set to be another dry and sunny day. But as we head into the afternoon, it may become a bit hazier as cloud spreads in from the west. Temperatures, however, will reach a high of 27 degrees, so make sure if you are venturing out to ensure that you're protected from the sun. Well, that's all your news for today. Don't forget, if you've missed any of our shows, they can all be found on our YouTube page by searching for Bay TV Swansea. Or if you'd like to keep up with all of the latest news, it can be found on our Twitter and Facebook page by searching for Bay TV Swansea. Until tomorrow, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Helo a chroeso i newyddion sian lwyth ar BTV gyda fi, Carwyn Evans. Prif straeon y dydd yw yr heddlu'n cael ardal o Abertawe i lawr am yr ail ddiwrnod yn olynol, disgyblion blwyddyn 3 Ysgol Gynradd Gymraeg Llwynderw yn dysgu chwarae offeryn llinynol, Star Wars yn dathlu 20 mlynedd ers cael ei lawnsio am y tro cyntaf ac yn chwaraeon, Capten Morgannwg yn paratoi ymddeol. Yn ôl nawr at ein prif stori. Am yr ail waith mewn 4 awr ar hugen, fe yw aghawd ardal o Abertawe gan yr heddlu. Heddiw fydd ddarganfyddwyd eitem mewn bins bwriel tu allan i lys yr ynadon, ac ar ôl i'r heddlu dderbyn galwad, fe yw aghawd y llys ac adeiladu gerllaw. Ar ôl i'r eitem gael ei archwilio gan y gwasanaethau priodol, fe gadarnhaodd Heddlu De Cymru bod dim byd o le, ond bod yr alwad wedi dod mewn gyda bwriadau da. Mae'r digwyddiad yma yn dilyn y cwadrant y farchnad a'r gorsaf bws yn cael ei gwaghau ddoe, ar ôl i becyn amheus gael ei ddarganfod. Tra ar y soffa ar Today on Bay heddiw, bydd dirprwy arweinydd y Cyngor Abertawe Clive Lloyd yn trafod y ffordd roedd y Cyngor yn gweithio gydag awdurdodau eraill i sicrhau bod yr haf prysydd sydd ar y gweill yn Abertawe dal yn medru mynd ei flaen y byddai yna siawns o oedi hirach i fe mewn i'r llefydd.
People would expect us to do all the sort of the risk assessments that are required, but people just need to carry on attending. There may be some extra precautions, some extra checks, maybe a bit of time delay, but it'll all be done for the right reasons, and people's security is the utmost in the council's minds, in the planning and the police, so we'll continue to work together.
Mae disgyblion blwyddyn 3 Ysgol Gynradd Gymraeg Llwynderw wedi rhoi perfformiad arbennig i'w rhieni a ffrindiau ar ôl derbyn gwersi i ddysgu offerynnau llinynol. Aeth BTV draw i glywed mwy am y prosiect.
Liz Cairns, BTV, lawr yn Ysgol Gynradd Gymraeg Llwynderw, ble mae holl blwyddyn 3 wedi dysgu ac yn ymarfer chwarae'r offeryn llinynol.
Wel, mae pob un wrth i bodd tegwch. Mae'r fformat yma wedi bod yn ei lle nawr ers dros flwyddyn, a fi'n credu bod ni'n rhan o pilot yn Abertawe, ac yn hynny mae pob plentyn ym mlwyddyn 3 yn cael dewis dim dewis a dweud y gwir, mae pob plentyn ym mlwyddyn 3 yn dysgu offeryn, ffidil i ni wedi dewis, neu llinynau, ac yn hynny wedyn, ar ddiwedd y flwyddyn, y penderfyniad wedyn i'r plentyn yw, odyn nhw am barhau gyda'r offeryn, efallai dysgu offeryn gwahanol, neu, fel mae rai yn dymuno wneud, yn peidio dewis wedyn i barhau gyda'r offeryn o gwbl. Wel, y prif reswm am wneud yw'r elfen o degwch. Pan des i yma, a beth sy'n gyffredin fi'n credu yw bod plant yn cael dewis. Maen nhw'n cael dweud a bydden nhw'n dymuno dysgu offeryn, ond yn amlwg oherwydd prinder amser ac arbenigwyr yn y maes, dim ond rhyw ganran o oriau sydd gyda chi i ddarparu ar gyfer cerddoriaeth, a mae hynny meddwl wedyn bod ambell i blentyn ddim yn gallu dilyn ei diddordeb. Wrth bod ni'n neud yn y model yma, mae pob plentyn yn cael cyfle, a wedyn yn penderfynu o fyna odyn nhw moyn parhau. A'r peth mwyaf arbennig i fi yw'r ffaith bod e ddim yn ymwneud ag unrhyw beth i wneud ag arian. Yr ysgol sydd yn ariannu'r prosiect ym mlwyddyn 3, ac yn hynny mae pob plentyn yn cael cyfle, a wedyn yn dewis os bydden nhw'n dymuno dilyn diddordeb o fyny mlaen.
Mae'n credu mae'n gret, mae fe'n lyflu fod nhw'n cael cyfle fel hyn, yn enwedig ar yr oedran yma, achos bod Aled ddim wedi cael y cyfle heblaw am y prosiect i dysgu'r violin.
Mae'n credu yn bach yn nerfus i dechrau gyda, ond oedd e'n mwynhau a mae di joio.
Wel, yn bersonol, fi'n credu bod yn holl bwysig, achos i fi, bydde fe ddim yn deg bod ni'n cynnig y cyfle yna i ambell blentyn a ddim yn cynnig y cyfle i bob plentyn. Felly, i ni wedi mynd ar hyd i'r egwyddor gyda'r llywodraethwyr bod pob plentyn yn cael y cyfle at offeryn ym mlwyddyn 3, ac o hynny mlaen wedyn yn dewis os bydden nhw'n parhau. Ond yn sicr, mae'n osgoi unrhyw deimlad y lle mae anghyfiawnder neu anhegwch, achos mae pob plentyn yn cael y cyfle. Yn sicr mae fe'n agor I meddwl nhw, yn dyw e? Mae lot o dystiolaeth ymchwil yn profi bod dysgu offeryn yn dda i'r ymenydd ac yn helpu pethau I gludo at ei gilydd a cysylltiadau gyda pethau eraill. Ac yn sicr fi'n credu bod ni'n gweld hwnna yn yr ysgol. Mae'n helpu nhw I ganolbwyntio, mae'n helpu nhw I ffindio'r awydd yna I ddilyn rhyw lwybr sydd o ddiddordeb iddyn nhw. A gobeithio wedyn bod hwnna'n helpu nhw yn eu dysgu nhw ac yn eu darllen nhw a'u sgiliau creadigol yn sicr.
Gyda'r tywydd yn poethi, mae Skincare Cymru eisiau atgoffa pobl I fod yn ofalus yn yr haul trwy ail gyflwyno arwyddion yr elusen Don't Be a Lobster. Mae'r arwyddion yn cael ei dangos ar draethau Abertawe a Gwyr gyda diwrnod cynhesaf y flwyddyn hyd yn hyn I weld yn heddiw. Ac yn olaf, mae 20 mlynedd i'r diwrnod wedi mynd ers I ffilm cyntaf Star Wars gael ei ryddhau, gyda pobl ar draws y byd yn bwriadu dathlu y diwrnod. Fe glywodd BTV mwy am y ffilm a'i boblog rwydd.
Well, Star Wars is immensely important in the history of Hollywood, the film industry. There are things about Star Wars which revolutionised the way in which the industrial aspects of the film industry worked. So Star Wars was the film, probably in conjunction with some of the Steven Spielberg stuff, like Jaws and Close Encounters, which guaranteed the blockbuster as the way in which Hollywood plans its schedules, these big special effects heavy. So that you've got that aspect of Star Wars, but the aspect of Star Wars which is to do with the toys and the merchandising. George Lucas, when he set his deal up with 20th Century Fox, made this incredible deal where he didn't have a hike in terms of his director's fee, but he secured the merchandising rights and rights to any sequels. And Fox thought they were onto a winner there because they didn't think there was much value in those. But obviously Lucasfilm and everything that follows comes from that. And now we understand films in terms of merchandising, T-shirts and toys and fast food tie-ins and things like that. So I think in industrial terms, Star Wars changed a lot. It's interesting as a text itself, Star Wars is a film that relates back to older styles of things. When George Lucas was thinking about making Star Wars, he first tried to secure the rights to make Flash Gordon. But at the time he was quite poor and didn't have the money to do it. And Flash Gordon would have been difficult because there were all sorts of restrictions on what you could do with the characters. But harking back to that serial approach to science fiction of the 1930s, you can see that Star Wars is actually quite traditional. It's trying to do something, it's trying to bring something into the present from quite a while ago. And Star Wars has a lot of the Flash Gordon about it, in terms of the opening crawl, for example. Cloud City in Bespin is really something that you see in those 30s kind of serials.
Dyna'ch newyddion am heddiw, I fi dy camper ar un nesaf. Y rygbi ddechrau heno. Dydd Sadwrn bydd y Scarlets yn gwynebu Munster yn rownd derfynol y Pro 12. Dyma'r tro cyntaf i'r rhanbarth o dref y sosban gyrraedd y rownd derfynol, ac mae'n cloriannu tymor da sydd wedi gweld y rhanbarth yn ennill 17 o 19 gêm diwetha yn y gyngrair, ac hefyd osgoi colli adre yng nghwpan y pencampwyr. Mae'r rhanbarth wedi dweud bydd bachwr a chapten y rhanbarth Ken Owens a'r ail reng Jake Paul yn colli rownd derfynol gydag anafiadau. O rygbi I bêl-droed. Ac yn dilyn llwyddiant Abertawe I aros yn uwch gyngor Lloegr, mae'r ymysodwr Fernando Llorente wedi canmol Paul Clement am yr argraff y cafodd ar y garfan wrth gadw nhw yn yr uwch gyngor. Pan ymunodd Clement gyda'r clwb, roedd yr elyrch yn eistedd ar 12 pwynt o 19 gêm cyntaf. A beth newyddion pêl-droed rhyngwladol nesaf? Mae Chris Coleman wedi enwi ei garfan ar gyfer hyfforddi wrth fynd I Portugal I baratoi am gêm rhagbrofol cwpan y byd yn erbyn Serbia yn mis Mehefin. Ymysg yr enwau sydd ar goll, mae Gareth Bale a Neil Taylor gyda'r ddau wedi wahardd, tra bod Andy King a James Collins yn colli allan gydag anafiadau. O'r garfan mae wedi dewis bydd yn cwtogi I lawr I 23 enw ar gyfer y gêm hynod o bwysig. Mae 7 chwaraewr newydd yn y garfan, gan gynnwys Ethan Ampadu, sy'n 16 oed, ac a gwnaeth ei ymddangosiad cyntaf dros Exeter nôl ym mis Awst. A peth newyddion cricet, mae capten Morgannwg Jacques Rudolph wedi cyhoeddi ei fod yn mynd I ymddeol o'r gêm ar ddiwedd y tymor. Mae'r chwaraewr 36 oed wedi bod gyda Morgannwg ers 2014. Fe fydd yn parhau I fod yn gapten i'r tîm ugain pelawd, ond bydd yn rhoi ei rôl fel capten y bencampwriaeth yn ôl ar unwaith. Wel, cyn gorffen, gadewch I ni gael golwg ar rhagolygon y tywydd. Bydd hi'n aros yn sych dros nos gyda ambell i gwmwl i weld fan hyn a fan draw. Ac y bydd hi'n noson glos arall, gyda'r tymheredd isaf yn cyrraedd rhyw 12 gradd Celsius. Yna wrth edrych ymlaen i ddydd Gwener, mae'n argoeli i fod yn ddiwrnod braf a heilog arall. Wrth iddyn fe mewn i'r prynhawn, mae'n bosib y bydd cymhylau yn teithio mewn o'r gerllewin serch hynny. A bydd y tymheredd uchaf yn cyrraedd 27 gradd Celsius. Felly cymerwch ofal os fyddwch allan yn yr heilwen. Wel, dyna'r cyfan wrtha i a gweddill tîm Newyddion Sianlwyth am heno. Cofiwch os ydych wedi colli unrhyw rhaglen, mae'r cyfan i weld ar Llundain YouTube trwy chwilio am BayTV Swansea, neu newyddion diweddara ar Llundain Facebook. Ar yswch gyda ni mae'r BayTV, tan nos o fori, diolch am wylio, tara.